All right, the 10th episode of Friends for Good is a big one, folks. It is our Mother's Day special. We actually have a treat for you guys. We're actually going to have both Miss Lehner and Miss Fowler, Jennifer Lehner, Mity Fowler, on the show later. We pre-taped a segment with them. It was awesome. Zach did a rapid fire. We asked some questions about what it's like being a mom and just got some of their experiences about life and what they wanted to bring to the show. And I think you guys will really enjoy that. But for now, we will start with our stories, and Zach will give you the floor for your first story.
Yes. So, what I will be talking about today is something that a lot of mothers go through, and that is postpartum issues after giving birth. And so, this is about a program that gives postpartum support and it's changing lives. And basically, it's a home visit program that is improving health outcomes for new moms and babies. So in New Orleans, there's a program called Family Connects that offers free nurse home visits to new mothers. Within the first 12 weeks after birth, nurses can visit up to 3 times. And during those visits, they check on the baby's health, help with breastfeeding, and screen moms for things like postpartum depression. And they also connect with families for anything that seems off early on. And what they found is that this kind of early in-home support, it leads to better health outcomes for both moms and babies, and it can even reduce healthcare costs down the line. And I think the
Wow.
biggest thing is that it also gives moms a sense of reassurance during a time that can feel really overwhelming. So I love this. I just think it's so important to support new mothers and new children because it's something you mentioned in your rapid fire, like what gives you hope, and that is the next generation, and that, we always have to support, you know, the children, but no one supports children like a mother does, and it's important to get them the exact same support. Um,
Zach,
so
I
that
think
was
you
my
hit the nail on the head with your explanation about this just being sort of a transitionary period, and a mom can be feeling super overwhelmed. I couldn't even imagine a single mom, especially, but having this program in place and having just another human being in your corner to let you know that it's going to be all right is so huge. That is an awesome program that you found, and definitely something worth highlighting because, yeah, that is definitely a very scary period for sure. I mean, obviously you and I can't speak to it, at least not yet, and we'll never be able to empathize like a woman would. But yeah, no, dude, super good program, really good story. Thanks for finding that.
Yeah, absolutely. I also, just real quick before we go to your story, another reason I really liked it was just because of what you said, like just having that person in your corner. It's support, and it kind of just shows compassion and love, and um
Just like
it's
I'm here, just
I'm
know
here.
that I'm here for you.
I'm here. I'm an outlet. Like,
Yeah.
especially someone that's it's they're not just a friend, like they're a nurse and they're qualified and they're doing it. So
In sort of a strange way, that story, not that it's a story more that it's a program, but it kind of reminds me of the story of the dads that did the learning to braid hair with their
yeah.
friends and then drinking beers too. Just because for a dad that has been a boy his entire life, raising a little girl is definitely probably a little strange and learning that together, but just again having another person with you doing it, I kind of just goes hand in hand, but it's just having another person in your corner, like you said. But yeah, just to transition to the next story, this is one that you sent me last minute, but this is the Mom Ensemble, which is a group of moms from the Great Lakes Bay region of Michigan who share stories and songs together, which I just think is awesome. And their tagline at the end is the Mom Ensemble mission is to help parents laugh about their frustrations so that their kids might make it to adulthood, which I just love that because, yeah, parenting is super tough. And I don't want to spoil any answers that our parents said, but they said there are moments where you're annoyed and frustrated, but at the end of the day, it's fun being a mom. And yeah, I don't want I'm going to spoil something that your mom said, but she's like, if I could do it all over again, I would. And she's like, I wish I just had one day and getting to share those stories and relive those events with people that have shared experiences with you, other moms. That is, I just think that's awesome.
Something I really love about the Mom Ensemble, and it goes along with what you said, is that I feel like it doesn't get talked enough just how frustrating and annoying a kid is. Like I think about myself, like I did not make it easy on my mom or my dad at all. And like there were probably moments where like my mom wanted to strangle me. And that's like a real thing
Oh, no
with all
doubt. Me
with
too.
all with all parents, like, but it's a real thing. Like I've heard from, different stories I've listened to about like mothers just genuinely having intrusive thoughts or fathers just because it's like, oh my God, this kid is impossible. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, and being able to joke and laugh about that, it's like the, timeless saying, laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
Um, and that's certainly the case for me when I need to cope with something. So I think
But
the
it,
mom stomp is doing a great thing.
but you're so right though. Like I know for a fact that I was just so
So,
difficult at times and
so
for no reason. Like
yeah.
why was I so difficult?
And it sucks that it it's something you can really only learn when you're older.
Yeah.
Because if I could go back, my mom would never hit me, but I would hit me.
Oh, I
Like,
just I just smacked me upside the head a few times.
like, and I don't know, her restraint that she showed for me was that's heroic. Um,
Facts.
so going on to our final story of the evening, we have a new spotlight. It highlights mothers driving major change in communities around the world. So, a recent Power Moms list, it recognized women who are making a large scale impact through advocacy and community work. And so, many of these mothers on this Power Moms list, they are focused on issues like access to childcare and support for families and helping underserved communities. And some have built organizations that distribute essential items like diapers and basic supplies to families in need. um, and others are like working on initiatives to support immigrants or improve access to resources. And I think what connects all of them is that the work often stems from challenges they've experienced firsthand.
Yeah.
And that to me, it goes back to what we've talked about so many times in the show. And that is when you go through something really challenging, you are the person that can devote your life to making it better for others. It creates a new passion. And I just love this because recognize it's like what we do every week with our silent hero segment, but this is them doing it in a real list that shows exactly what mothers around the world are doing.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so important that they get recognized because not they're just they're underappreciated. They are silent heroes. All mothers, but especially people like this that have experienced these problems and are working to help other people.
Yeah, and at the end there too, all moms too, because even just being a mom is heroic in and of itself, and doing all the things in the day to day to take care of your family and do the stuff when no one's watching is just it's huge. And I know my mom has talked about it often that when she was getting a job post me, Morgan, and Jackson going to school, she was trying to explain how her experiences are applicable to the workforce when in reality, her job was being my mom on top
Right.
of, PTO and the art museum and other things like that. But dude, being a mom's tough and they should absolutely get recognized. If you could, Zach, I would love it if you would plug that list somewhere on our socials at some point so
Yes,
that
I will.
everyone can find them. Yeah.
I, will find the Power Moms list.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So with that, why don't we head into our quotes? Carson, do you want to kick us off for our notable quotables?
I I would love to. This is actually a quote that I heard today, Zach. So the Packers' new defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, who was the Arizona Cardinals head coach, really gave a powerful quote today, and it's one that's really stuck with me, and I think you'll like it a lot. The quote is, "You have no obligation to be the person that you were 5 minutes ago."
Mm,
And the way that I kind of received it was that it's kind of twofold. It's one, it means that you can always change and you can always make the decision to change. But the other side of it is that we are always adapting and evolving. Maybe that's the better word because I am not the same person that I was 5 minutes ago, and I owe that person absolutely nothing. And there is no obligation for me to be that person. So, me, like, it's kind of like any choice you ever make to, like the growth mindset versus decaying mindset. Like, I can decide right now if I want to start growing, or I can also decide right now if I want to start decaying.
And I think just to kind of apply that to the theme a little bit, like you think about a mother's life, the moment you have a woman's life, the moment that they have a child, it changes everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it, they are responsible for a whole nother life that they have to love and care for and grow into an adult and a functioning member of society. And I think every day is kind of that decision, right? They're not the same person they were prior to having the child, but
Yeah.
every, every moment that that kid grows, like they're not the same person anymore either. And so as a result, the mother has to adapt and change. And I think attitude just plays a huge role in that. Like I, I kind of have to do this, so I'm going to look at it the best way that I can.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that was kind of what I took away from it. And um actually, sorry, not to stay on like the Packers thing, but this was just a big part of my work day today. Their new special teams coordinator is Cam Acord, who used to work for the New York Giants. And he actually said the exact same thing that Marcus said last week, which was, I get to do this today. I
Right.
get to be here. And sorry, just want to throw that in there because I love that. And I love that maybe he's listening to Friends for Good. I have no idea.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe. But anywho, that was my first quote. Really like that one.
Yeah, that was great. My quote, it's about mothers. This is from Dorothy Canfield Fisher. She's a prolific American author. She wrote The Bent Twig, which is like a famous children's book, among other things. But this is what she said. She said, "A mother is not a person to lean on, but a person to make leaning unnecessary." And
Say that one more time.
a mother is not a person to lean on, but a person to make leaning unnecessary. And the way I view this is, well, for one thing, I lean on my mother all the time. I have to. I need my mom. Like
Same.
we talk about people in your life being an addition, not a necessity. That's someone in my life she just is a necessity. I love my mom. I need my mom. Um, but with that, my mom did a great job preparing me so that I don't have to lean on her for everything anymore. And she raised me in a way that leaning is unnecessary. Like I can tackle anything I can tackle anything because she instilled the belief in me that I can. Um,
I
and
just, sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
no, 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 I was just gonna say that that's what a mother does, and that's what my mom did.
I think you hit the nail on the head there again, Zach, because I think you and I grew up so privileged, so blessed, so loved. But I think not only our moms, but just our parents in general and our families kind of instilled this work ethic and self-sufficiency in the both of us that, hey, like we're gonna help you as much as we can, but it's on you to like go out and grab what you want to do and make the most of your circumstances, which I think we can say that we absolutely did in our 4 years in school and where we are now. So no, I think that's a really powerful quote because I think it is definitely easy to lean on people, especially a parent that is, giving you so much, but then eventually you leave the nest and you realize, shit, like I can't lean on them anymore. So thank God they taught me to lean all by myself and, pick me up by my bootstraps when things get tough. So yeah, dude, really good quote.
Thank you, thank you. Do you have a second one for us today?
I do have a second one. So this is from Lance Conrad, who I'm actually not sure who this is, so I'll have to look it up afterward. But he said, "I can imagine no greater hero than my mom." It's a little corny, a little
No, no,
corny,
it's just it's just the truth, and it's just the standard. Like,
but it's also like my mom is my hero. Like
yeah,
if a hero is someone that I look up to and aspire to be, then that's my mom. The definitions are simultaneously the same.
yes, I couldn't agree more. The person I want to be is someone that is of the same character as my mom.
Yeah,
And I would agree that being the same with your mom, just another one of the best people I know, especially because of how you and Morgan and Jackson turned out. It's a reflection of her.
yeah.
And I feel the same way with my siblings.
It also like makes me want to be a really good parent when you know, see the work that my mom put into being my mom and raising our family. If I can do half the work that she did and my kids turn out hopefully as good, I would love that. And yeah.
I couldn't agree more. To close off our quotes, I'll go with my last one. This is from Amy Tan. She's another renowned author. Wrote The Joy Luck Club. Um, this is what she said. She said, "A mother is the one who fills your heart in the first place."
Oh, wow.
So the way I interpreted this is that everyone is born on an even keel and maybe without necessarily a spirit or empathy or basic human attributes. Like I that's maybe a separate thing. Like people can be born with all of these things, but your mom is the person that really, in a lot of ways, at least for me, showed me what it meant to be loved and how to love someone else.
Yeah.
And my heart is full because of my mom and my dad. Um, but really, it's my mom that really just kind of instilled this ability to love and be loved inside of me. So, um,
Dude, you're just like hitting home runs. Like, I mean, again, just the end there. Like, I would say that my mom definitely was the person that at least showed me how to love and how to love someone deeply. And, it's not that my dad didn't, but, I think it's no secret to say that our moms definitely have higher emotional IQs than our dads. Although my dad did teach me a lot of other things. Shout out, Dad. Hopefully, we have a Father's Day special that weekend too. But yeah, like I think I saw the way that my mom and my dad loved each other and how she treated him when he was down and vice versa and how she picked him up. And I think I kind of just did all the same stuff in my relationships. At least I kind of drew it back to like, how did my mom pick me up? Because you think about unconditional love, like my mom's love for me, I would hope is unconditional. And that's the way that I treat any of the people that I'm in a relationship with.
yeah, absolutely. And it's this idea of unconditional love that also I think it gives children like a mother and their son or daughter the idea that like I love you no matter what. And having that that's what filled my heart. Like I always and I always wanted to be good. Maybe I messed up when I was a kid and I wasn't always the best son, but now at least I always want to be the best version of myself and the most loving version of myself because that's what my mom taught me.
Yeah.
Uh, so I love that quote. And I love our theme. Yeah, I love my mom.
Moms are great.
Moms are great. Um, so with that, do you want to introduce our special
Yeah,
guest?
let's get to it. So again, like I kind of introduced us to earlier part of the show, Jennifer Lehner and Mity Fowler, our two amazing moms, joined us for our taping this evening, and we are so excited to share that conversation with them. Here it is.
All right. And continuing on the theme of Mother's Day, we would like to welcome our moms, Miss Jennifer Lehner and Mity Fowler, to the podcast. Welcome. So glad that you guys are here. Um, to start, we are going to get into our rapid fire interview. And we are just going to ask you guys a few questions, answer them as quickly as you can, and we'll just go back and forth. We will start with my mom, Jennifer, and then Mrs. Valerie will answer the next question. So we'll start, just answer as quick as you can. What's something about you that most people don't know to mom?
I used to have a monkey.
Awesome. Miss Fowler?
When I was in third grade, I did a commercial for frozen yogurt bars and my tooth came out.
That's so
Great.
great.
Um, Miss Fowler, what's something you're really proud of that has nothing to do with being a mom?
Oh, great question. You know what? I'm proud of where I am in my life right now. Um, Kind of building back to who is Midi in this world. And that's a big change after people do leave the nest. And I'm giving tours of Cleveland. I'm working for the Visitors Bureau and among a few other side hustles. Anyway, it's a good place I'm in.
Wonderful. And you, Mom?
Um, yeah, I think just the business that I built, I'm proud of that.
What's a moment in your life that really shaped who you are today? Something maybe specific, Mom?
Say that again.
What's a moment in your life that really shaped who you are today?
Oh my God. Um, a moment in my life that really shaped who I am. I mean, oh my God. Well, motherhood. I mean, it's true. So the
Perfect.
birth of my first child and then every child thereafter, I guess.
And you, Miss Fowler?
Um, I was going to say a couple of study abroad experiences. So that, but kind of piggybacking, as you guys would say, on Mrs. Lehner's motherhood. Certainly having two first babies at once was a bit life changing. So that's why my hair still doesn't look quite right.
For those that are new, Carson is a twin. His twin sister's Morgan Fowler. He's spoken about her a few times before. Now we'll get into some different questions, still rapid fire. Start with Miss Fowler. What is something Carson did as a kid that still makes you laugh?
Oh God,
He
where to
talked
start?
to everyone,
Yeah.
which is probably why he's getting paid to ask questions and talk to people now. So I just chuckle at the background. When he was very little, people called him um, like the little senator, and then we moved to London, and they called him the little ambassador, and then we moved back to the United States, and he was the president. So anyway, that still makes me laugh because he does enjoy asking questions and talking to people.
I think Coach Roro called me the mayor.
Oh, right. Yes. Forgot the mayor.
And Mom, what about me?
Funny things that you did as a kid.
Something that still makes you laugh that you just think
I,
about.
I mean, wow, how could I pick? I mean, I'm still like, and you're still doing things every day that make me laugh. I mean, I honestly, Zach, I just can't pick one. But I mean, obviously the collage of snapshots in my mind, which, Mrs. Fowler and Carson were very much a witness to, was like you painting your chest and your face and dancing and getting on the jumbotron at every Cavs game, and just always how big you go and how much spirit you have. You always take it to the nth degree, and it's funny. And then all the little songs you would make up, like just random songs. We still sing them, but I won't do that to you right now.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Um, Mom, you can start this one. Who was the hardest kid and who was the easiest?
Uh,
I think I know the
I,
answer to this one.
yeah, you were the hardest,
Yeah.
and Scarlett is the easiest. Like that's a very easy answer.
I think I also know the answer for my mom as well.
It's probably why you guys are drawn to each other. Yes, Carson, you were the hardest. You were impulsive for all the good and crazy reasons. And sorry, Morgs, but baby Jackson was easier just because suddenly I only had one kid.
I knew that was coming too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And Ms. Fowler, what's the most ridiculous thing you've had to say as a mom?
Ooh. He didn't mean to do that. Maybe that.
Zach, what I want to say, I just cannot say, but
You
I
can
want
say
to
it.
say it.
It's
No,
okay.
I cannot.
Come on.
No, I can't. Look,
Okay.
should I text it to you? Because honestly, I want to say it so bad, but I
Say
can't.
it. It's okay.
No, I can't.
I'm not
Um,
embarrassed. Our viewers will like it.
no, 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 no. You're
It's
killing me.
controversy. It gets the people going.
Look, God, Zach, these are
I
hard questions for rapid fire. You
you
I
know
know.
what?
know.
You know what I think, Miss Lehner, I think you would say, Zach, you're not wearing that, are you? When we left Charleston
Oh, thank you. Yes. I mean, yes, red velvet shorts and like yeah, no. And
and like a Cavs t-shirt. It was so
thank you,
great.
Carson. That is the answer.
We
Yes.
can put that in a reel. That'd be good. Um, all
I've got a
right.
picture somewhere.
Now we'll get into the theme of motherhood and then our closing questions on the not so rapid fire, but it's okay. Um, what did becoming a mom change? Like, how did it how did becoming a mom change you the most? Mom, you can start.
Oh my God, these questions. They're great questions, by the way, but they're just like they're huge questions. How did it change? How say it again?
How did becoming a mom change you the most?
In case you're wondering where your ADHD came from, by the
Yeah.
way, it's just like how did it change me the most?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, if I boiled it all down, I would just say that it wasn't about me anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like the minute that I became a mom, then it was just this is my life is it just means something completely. My focus is different and yeah, I wasn't the center of the story anymore, you know?
You, Miss Fowler?
I love that, Jennifer. That's great. Yeah, I think for me, because it was the twins, it felt very challenging. And I'm not sure that anybody's really prepared to be a parent. Um, and then the fact that there were two and there were schedules to figure out and feeding and you'd just be ready to go out the door and then one would have taken off their clothes while the other one, you just got ready. Like that, just all this kind of chaos was all going on. And um I think that it taught me a few things where just things were just never going to be perfect, which was a really good lesson for me. I think I tried to do things really well growing up as like the oldest and things like that, tried to be responsible. And then suddenly I had this great excuse to just, you could either laugh or cry. And most of the time I laughed, I think. um, yeah, so I think it just taught me to have a lot of fun and honestly just I think maybe a more confident person. Now it is sounding like me. It's all about me. But I think just the whole experience of being a mom just made me feel like we were part of something together.
Can I ask you guys something for both the moms and Miss Lehner? Maybe I'll give it back to you here. Do you remember the days leading up to having for you would have been Jake having your first kid? Do you remember what you were feeling? Maybe I'm sure you were anxious, nervous, excited. Like, do you remember that span of time before Jake was born? Then, mom, you can answer after, but when
Oh,
Morgan and I were
yeah.
born.
Oh my God, 100%. But it's like it's not as like profound as you're the answer you're looking for because it's like I want to get this baby out of me. I gained 75 pounds. I couldn't breathe when I walked up the steps. I was just like, ugh, like so. But yeah, I was just super excited because honestly, you feel sort of acquainted with this person in some weird way, and so you just can't wait to like actually meet them. You've built up this story and narrative in your head or what they're going to be like, and yeah. So I remember it vividly, and it didn't disappoint. I will say that it was amazing. Yeah.
Mom?
I was pretty terrified, and somewhere is a video of the day before you guys were born, which was Halloween, and I was wearing an orange turtleneck sweater so I could answer the door dressed as a jack-o'-lantern because that's what I look like.
That's so
And
good.
I was really scared. Just the whole thing. Um I don't know if I would have been like that if I were only having one. I'm not really sure, but it went a lot better than I thought. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
So I'll wrap up this part of the episode, the rapid fire, with just two more questions. So, Mrs. Fowler, what's one lesson you'd always hoped Carson would carry with him, or maybe like a way he carries himself that you think that you gave to him?
Well, I loved your podcast about being present. I think that that is something that I actually am pretty good at, and just being aware of the surroundings. You guys know that I'm into art, so I think that I'm just really into visual stimulation and just love looking at the sunrise and the sunset and just the world around me. And I do think Carson has inherited that curiosity and presence. And I hope he always uses that like you guys talked about, for living your best days.
I love that. Mom, go ahead.
Your spirit, baby. Your joie de vivre. I mean, like really, you just are, and I know you got it from me. And so that's it.
I know that too. So what what do you hope your legacy is as a parent? Mom, you can start.
You know what? I've been thinking a lot about that actually, about legacy, and I'm not so into legacy. I'm like, I feel like this whole, I just feel like legacy is, um, there's really no such thing. You know why? Because like after your kids die, like who, nobody, I'm dust in the wind. You know what I mean? Like it's like, so I'm not living my life for legacy, but I guess what I hope for you, that whole like stuff aside,
Sure.
is is just, I mean, I just hope you feel so loved, you
I do.
know. I just hope you feel so loved, and I feel like if when people feel loved and supported, like you don't need a whole army of people to support you. You really just need one person to believe in you. You have a lot more than that, you know, but that's my biggest hope for you.
Love that. And I do feel loved. Thank you.
Good.
This Fowler, go ahead.
So, can you repeat the question?
What do you hope your legacy is as a parent?
Okay, I agree with Jennifer. I'm not trying to leave any legacies. I'm just trying to do my best. Um, I think that one thing that our family values, and I think you guys are like this too, where we like to see what's unique in each and every person we meet, and finding, either their talents or what makes them tick. And I've read lately that that actually is something that helps with loneliness, that connecting with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk to somebody in the grocery store line, or and I think all of us do that.
Yeah.
And so if I were going to leave something behind that I hope um, continues in our family, because I think my parents and Jeff's mom and dad were like this too, that um, we continue to connect with other people and find out what makes them special.
I love that.
Morgan always calls that seeking your community, mom.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so that's a wrap on the rapid fire, and now we can kind of just get into more of a discussion. I have some questions written down, but I asked a lot. So, Carson, if you have anything that you wanted to say, or I could just keep going.
Well, first and foremost, I would say I loved your guys' answers, and I know I kind of jumped the gun on my first question there, but I would love to ask you guys, at what point did you notice a difference in how you had to parent your children in terms of how they were growing up? Like, obviously, probably the first 10 years of your life, you're everything to them. But then, they get into their teen years, their adolescent years. And was there ever a moment or a point where you felt like you had to draw back and kind of change your parenting style to better fit us, I guess? Yeah, I was going to say your kids, but we are your kids. So, if that question makes sense. Mom, if
It's
you want to
good.
go first.
Good.
Ooh, that's a doozy. Um, yeah, I mean, I do think that you have your criteria, you have your things that you really believe in, but then parenting is a gray area, in my opinion. Every child is different, and I just think you have to meet them where they are. Carson, if I could catch you, I was trying to meet you there when you were running down the road. Um, yeah, I mean, you guys all had very different personalities, and so that continues. But I'm still going to be myself when I'm advising you. But I might maybe tweak it depending on, what I think will help you.
Miss Lehner?
Yeah, I mean, there was no plan, you know. It's like a dance. It's like any relationship, you know, like things go this way and you kind of go that way with the person, and then they go this way and you move with them this way. And so and what's interesting is as you guys grow, we grow, right? Like we're, you know, it's why you'll hear so many people say, "Gosh, I wish I could do it again." I wish I enjoyed it the first time, but gosh, I wish I could do it a second time. I mean, I know I feel that way. Even if I, you know, could get a day with you, and I got to pick the age, would be,
What age would you pick?
um, for Zach about, God, I don't know, like 5.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
You were probably such a cute little kid at 5.
Mitty, what age would
I
you
wasn't
pick
so
for Carson?
combative.
I think more like third grade. So what is that, like
Like 8,
9?
9. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were cute in third grade, Carson. I do remember you as a third grader.
Hell yeah.
That was the year you guys met.
Yeah.
That is not the year we met, Mom.
Oh, yes, it is.
Second grade.
I wasn't friends with you in third grade, but we
I would
met in
say we
third grade.
really met in 4th grade.
Well, yeah, that's when we became friends. But I knew you in third grade.
I knew
But
you were in Mr. Whose class were you in 3rd grade? I was in
I
Mr.
was
Mr.
Mr.
Gillette.
Gillette.
Yeah,
You were
yeah, yeah.
sweet. You were
Zach was
sweet.
with Morgan.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. And they did the cute little play together. Okay, sorry. So the question was, did I change my parenting? No. Just, I mean, yes, but not in any kind of planned way. It's just, oh, Zach needs this today because he's clearly, not doing XYZ or whatever.
And then I want to ask a follow-up to that. So I asked like the point of time between being like a child to being an adolescent versus now Zach and I are adults. How cool has it been to watch your kids grow and now realize like you can be friends with your kids more than just being their parents? Like I've gone out with my parents before. Like how cool is that? And just how fun was that? And at what point did you realize like I'm also friends with my kids? Miss Lehner, if you want to go first.
Um, when did I realize it? I don't know. All I can tell you is that I do remember a point in time where I was just like, wow. And you know what? It was probably as they leave the nest where you think, oh, bummer, like, but actually what happens is our world doesn't necessarily get smaller. It gets bigger in a lot of ways because we're right there with you, and like you're bringing in all these new people and you're doing all these cool things, and you're starting your careers, and like you're doing this amazing podcast, and we're along for the ride with you. So that's such a blast. And I remember thinking, oh wow, like this is fun. Like I love watching the people they're becoming, and we're not always friends. You know what I mean? Like I mean there's always, there's point. I mean, we're always friends, but I'm just saying, like, there's still the parent child thing dynamic for sure.
For sure.
We're not done with that. And I would say that, but Zach and I have a very good time together. I mean, all my kids, but we're talking about Zach today and or you guys. And like we were just in New York together, going to comedy clubs and shopping and all of that. And I can't say I've had a better time with any of my friends
I
that
was
I've
just saying,
had.
nor will you ever be done with the parenting thing either.
Right. There will always be that,
Yeah. Mom,
I think I need you to repeat the question again.
I was
I'm
just gonna
glad I'm
say,
not the only one.
right. And I'll edit all this too. But just at what point did you realize like you could be friends with your kids, like and realize it's more than just being their parent too?
Yeah, I mean, I really have to echo what Jennifer said because I do think it is when you guys went off to college and spread your wings and we met your friends and we would go to visit for the weekend and see this whole community that you had built and activities that you were involved in and everything. There was like that football team you were on at Syracuse, and then we'd go over to Citrus TV and see what that was all about in your dorm, and anyway, at your fraternity. So there were just a lot of different groups that started to expand, and yeah, it was just fun to watch. Like, let them fly.
It was always just so great for me. Like parents' weekend during college was always my favorite because I just loved showing, my mom and my dad like all these amazing people I met and what I was doing. Like I remember the first one I was in the fraternity and just like they got to see the tailgate and like or when I was president, they got to just see me work. And I felt I don't know, it kind of felt like when you're in kindergarten and you draw a picture and like your mom and your dad just like it's like, oh my God, it's amazing, even though it's terrible. Uh, but not that anything I did was that bad, but it was just I wanted them to see and like
We were
being
so
with
proud
you.
of you, like what
Yeah.
you did. It was amazing. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I was just jumping straight ahead to like work and forgot those 4 years in college. But like, yeah, that was such a blast.
And so I wanted to move on to my next question, which is, we're on the podcast, we're always kind of bringing it back to the world and just different applications of what we're talking about. And so, Mom, if you want to start, but why do you think family is so important, especially in today's world where people are seemingly getting pulled in a lot of different directions and there's maybe a lot of distractions that might take you away from family?
Um, well, I don't think, I think if you ask this question 50 years ago and if you ask it 50 years from now, I don't know that the answer is going to change much because I just think it always has been true that family is what grounds us, centers us, powers us, fuels us, like, and not just for us, but like all across the world. I mean, everybody, I mean, I think we all kind of like agree on that. I think maybe we don't always live that belief necessarily. And sometimes that's just circumstance based, right? Because everybody has to go where they go, but that doesn't mean we can't keep this very, the close connection. So my answer is that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, my answer would be similar. I just think that it's definitely more challenging anymore to get everyone together. In fact, I was kind of stressing about like the summer and plans today. So, but I think probably, as Jennifer said, 50 years ago, people stressed about that too, and maybe it was a little more expensive to get on an airplane then than it
Right.
is now. I don't know, and then you guys will have jet packs when your grandkids are around so they can just fly and visit. I don't know. But yeah, it's just getting the calendars together to make that time. But
That's
it's
right.
um it's a great foundation if you have it. Um and I do feel blessed to, be from a close family. So
One thing that I think I've always appreciated about both of our families is that the both of you always made time for family, especially as we were growing up. I mean, I remember there were definitely moments where, you know, mom, at least I can only speak for our family, but you would say, nope, like family dinner tonight, you're not going over to Zach's, or you're not doing that tonight, or, we've got family movie night or something. And that might have been annoying then, but then you look back and you realize how valuable those moments were together. And maybe Zach and I didn't appreciate it then, but I think we definitely do now, remembering one, we come from really good families and we're so blessed and so loved, but two, those moments are the ones you just never forget. Like there's
Right.
definitely moments of me sitting around the couch with, our family with the dogs, and those are the moments that I remember, especially for us leaving our house at Drummond. Like that's what I remember. So I always appreciated how much family was instilled in both of our families and how important it was, because it certainly is important to me now.
And, just to add off of that, like I think about, Carson and I, we were debating when to film this week and we both had different things going on. And I was saying like maybe we could film when I am with the whole family and you in Charleston, and then Carson's back in Cleveland this weekend. But Carson said to me, he's like, you know, I don't really want to be focused on the podcast. I just want to like spend time with my family.
Oh,
And that, it wasn't something I was thinking about at first, but he was just so right. Like I crave that family time so much more. I craved it in college, but I crave it so much more now because I just need it I need the routine visits with my family in order for me to understand that like everything's okay, and like, and you know I just love all of you, so it's important for um it's definitely important for me. And
Zach,
uh
really quick before we get to Silent Heroes and Wins the Week, my favorite photo of you is you with your family sitting on the bench in Central Park next to the Jacqueline Kennedy Reservoir, and you guys have all just had what's the sandwich shop? Milano Market. You had all just gotten this, and I just because I remember like being there for so long, telling you to go there, and then seeing all of your family together. That was like the best thing I've ever seen, because all of
oh,
you were together and you were, like your mom said earlier, she's seen you grow into a young man that is starting his career in New York City and chasing something that he was always chasing. And finally, like, reaching that milestone. So I always draw back that photo because I love that photo so much. But sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good.
Can I be like Carson and add one more thing too? You can edit it out. I was just going to say that I think our families are similar in that, especially when you guys were young, we both of our families moved around a lot. And because of that, I think it really made our core, five of us in each case, the Lehners and the Fowlers, you played with your siblings a lot. You spent a lot of time with your parents and everything. And I actually feel like that was kind of dumb luck, that for us anyway, I'll speak for us, that sewed those ties even more. Um, and then, finally landed in Shaker somewhere where we expanded our community and have family friends like you guys.
Yeah,
I,
awesome.
I love that. And it also reminds me of just kind of like, even to expand on that, when I went to Door County to stay with you guys, did it 2 times, and it was just kind of like that was a different place that you guys all called home, and I got to experience that, and it was just so like, seeing your parents and just like getting to meet them, and it was, I don't know, it showed the levels of the Fowler family, and that however different the different generations are, the one thing that's constant is how much you love each other and how much that family is, um, stayed strong and true together. So that, um, those 2 trips to Door County absolutely like reaffirms my faith in family and just love in general. So real quick before we get into our Silent Heroes and Wins of the Week, we're running out of time on the Zoom call, but um, my last kind of question, and also just things for both of you to talk about, just so our listeners know, both of you, while we were growing up, had so many things going on outside of just being a mom. And I don't know, if you wanted to talk about what it was like balancing that, with mom, it was your business and cashers, and Miss Fowler, it was working at the art museum, and what you're up to now. And if you guys just wanted to talk about that and, plug what you're doing, and kind of describe what that balance was like, that'd be great.
Oh, that's so nice. I don't know if people want to hear me talk about but
You can do a
okay. Well,
quick summary.
um, so yeah, when you guys were little, I used to always just dabble in digital stuff, and I used to like to do the home pages, websites for like your teachers and stuff like that. Um, and then later, when you guys got older, I realized that maybe I could do consulting on social media and stuff. So I started being a consultant. And these days, my business is focused on helping other businesses leverage AI and get AI incorporated into their businesses. And then along the way, I tried to volunteer, and stay involved. And really, the big thing for me was I just sort of felt like I had it all, because when you were in school, I could work, but when the school bus came, I could be done, and so it worked out well. That's it.
Thank you, Miss Fowler.
I would say that a lot of what I was doing was involvement with the schools. I did not have any other really full-time job like Jennifer did along the way. So that did give me some flexibility to be involved in things like the Shaker Schools Foundation and the Art Museum and PTO and things like that. Um, and that allowed me to understand what was going on in the schools, what the kids were learning. My mom's a teacher, my grandfather's a teacher. I think I was kind of drawn to all that anyway. Um, but then, along comes some common threads like being a tour guide at the art museum and the docent role and loving the art. And now being a tour guide again in downtown Cleveland about history and everything. I think, and then I, even in college, given like the campus tours. So all along the way, I just loved being a part of talking to people and kind of selling what was special about either where we lived or the museum. So anyway, I just feel very lucky. And I did not feel challenged really with the kids because, like Jennifer, I could do that when they were at school and then, when they went to bed.
Mom, if you remember correctly, I also gave campus tours. So I took
That's
that from
right. That's right.
you.
So did Jake.
All right, so we're running out. We have like only a few minutes left on the Zoom call, so we're gonna do our silent heroes really quick and our wins of the week really quick. So Mom, if you want to start with your silent hero, and you can do your win of the week back to back, and then Miss Fowler, and then Carson and I will go, wrap it up.
Silent hero, I thought a lot about this, and tomorrow we have an election, and it's a local election, and there's elections all across the country, not everywhere, but special elections, primaries, that sort of thing. And who's the people working those polls? Like they're the one, they are the ones. Okay, that's real quick. And then they're my silent heroes. And then win of the week, I just hit the 10-year milestone, alcohol free, which I never set out to do necessarily. I never said I was never going to drink, but lo and behold, here we are at 10 years and no booze. So that's it.
That's
Probably
Mom.
why your skin looks so good, Miss Lehner.
Well, there's also a filter on this Zoom, but thank you.
Mom.
That's fabulous. Um, I also thought a lot about this, and I don't want this to sound corny, but in honor of Mother's Day, I was sure that in fact Jennifer was going to say this too, but I actually kind of think you guys are my silent heroes because
Oh,
I just am so proud of you guys that you decided that you wanted to talk more to each other with intention. And then these topics, I feel like are deep and things that people really need to be thinking about. And especially in, the world, I just think that you're tackling some topics that really could bring people together. And I'm just proud of you guys. So you guys are my silent heroes. If I wasn't doing that, I was going to say that the downtown ambassadors who clean our streets and welcome tourists as they walk around and just make you feel safer in downtown Cleveland. I feel like Cleveland's on the rise and it's been great to have them around. So I was also going to add that. And my win of the week is that we did move downtown an apartment building, but I have missed gardening. So there is a roof deck and there is space to have gardens on the roof. And so I planted yesterday a
yay.
little garden and I think it looks fabulous and people will hopefully enjoy it beyond just Jeff and me. It's open to everybody. So that was my win of the week.
All right, well, thank you so much, Miss Fowler. We'll go on to my silent hero. Carson and I have the same silent hero this week. My silent hero, Mom, you are the best mother in the world. I'm so excited to see you this weekend in Charleston with the whole family. I love you so much. I'm glad that I can always rely on you, and that you always pick up my call, even though sometimes I don't pick up yours. And it's just great to know that you're always being my mom when you don't have to. So I love you so much and thank you for being my hero. And my win of the week is in that same vein. I'm just really excited to see you and see Dad, Jake, and Scarlett in Charleston.
Yeah, just ditto everything that Zach said. Mom, love you so much. You're absolutely my silent hero every day. Ditto what Zach said about not picking up your call because that literally happened today. So sorry. But yeah, just so blessed that you're my mom. I love what Marcus said last week. He said, one thing I'm grateful for is I know that I'm incredibly loved and I know that I'm incredibly blessed. And I'm definitely both of those things. And that's definitely a lot due in part to you being my mom. And my win of the week, just so excited to be in Cleveland this week. I'm so glad that I was able to make that work with work because my schedule is kind of wonky, as you know. So love you so much. And yeah, I actually, and one more thing really quickly, Mom, I thought you were gonna say Grammy was your sound hero, but I'm very thankful that it was me and Zach.
Me too.
Don't tell Grammy.
Yeah, and I want to change my answer. Forget those poll workers. It's Zach and Carson.
Yeah, it was a good answer. Both of them were great answers. With that, thank you both, Ms. Fowler and Mom, Mity Fowler, Jennifer Lehner. Thank you both for stopping by the podcast. And if you are listening, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You're all of our silent heroes for all the work that you do every day. So Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. Thank you.